How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I want to go through every stock that I bought this week, including looking a little bit at the stocks that I bought last week. So I do this on a weekly basis. I will put up my phone because now I actually have two phones, so I can actually show my phone and show you what I bought and show you every single account that I bought in. So we used to only do my dividend portfolio, but now I'm going to show you kind of my growth stocks too. So I tell my Patreon members right when I buy and sell stocks, but usually it takes a little bit longer to update YouTube. Usually I'll tell you when I'm still considering buying a stock, and then I'll go out and buy it afterwards. So I'll show you what I've bought over the last week. And I am not doing this for the first time by any means. This is our 25th week of investing $100 a week into our dividend investing portfolio. So again, I'll do that one first, then look at the growth stocks afterwards. But if you want to follow us along, if you want to do this with us, you can check out the link down below to M1 Finance. If you want to invest each week into dividend paying stocks, I found out that by the time that I'm 60, I should have about $1 million just investing $100 a week. And maybe that's a little bit high for you. Maybe that's a little bit low. Maybe you want to invest $1,000 a week. Maybe you want to invest $50 a week. Maybe you want to invest $25. So definitely check out the link down below to M1 Finance if you want to start that. If you do also want some free stocks, you can check out WeBull. They're giving 4 free stocks if you deposit $100. And the last thing, I do have a link down there below to BlockFi, which is a new affiliate of mine. I'm putting a lot of money there every single day because they pay up to 8.6% APY on some of your stablecoin and cryptocurrencies. So if you want a really high interest account, I have mine just tied to the US dollar. So I have a stable coin that just pays me out in stable coin. So it doesn't fluctuate like a lot of other cryptocurrencies. So definitely check that out if you're interested at all in that. So this week we bought a couple different stocks, and this is just the portfolio overall. I'll show you. I haven't shown you, I think, in a couple days. We're sitting almost at $3,000. We put in just about $2,500. So just taking a look at the portfolio, Disney's up a lot. Store Capital's up. Every single stock is up in here. AT&T's just about even, but you can see IIPR's just about 100% up. Now this is money weighted return, so it's not exactly time weighted return, which is what we're used to, but we're up a lot in a lot of our positions. So the first position that we have here that we bought was Disney. I really like Disney. I'm adding a lot to it in this portfolio, and I plan on adding more outside of it. I really like Disney long term. Their streaming is growing very quickly, and I'm very impressed with what they've been able to do. The next company is JP Morgan Chase. Again, another company that I think is pretty undervalued. Both of these companies are ones that I have on my list for stocks in 2021. So definitely be on the lookout for that video. I think it's coming tomorrow. But I like JP Morgan Chase too. And then Store Capital, a REIT that actually is able to charge a pretty decent amount for their rents. So I really like this one. It pays a nice dividend. I think it's still over 4% off the top of my head. And I continuously add to this position. I really like it and continue to buy more. And I have it in a couple different portfolios. Moving on to our WeBull account. So I'm going to show you what I bought, and this account's growing pretty quickly here. We're depositing a lot of money in it. You can see over the last 5 days, we're up about 27% or so. Now, just over the last couple days, we've bought a couple different companies. So at the beginning of the week, we bought WPF. This is a company that is in talks with Alight, which I made a video on this last weekend, but they're a cloud HR company. Definitely one to keep on your radar because this is a company, Alight is a company that's owned by BlackRock. And it's definitely one to keep on your radar. Again, I like the company, so I ended up buying about 20 shares. And the next company is CleanSpark. We're actually up a pretty good amount on this one so far. So I'll show you here in a second, but I think we're up about 20 to 25%. DMYD, we added more to our position. And all of these companies are ones I've talked about before. So if you want to search the channel for it, you can. Ellis Gaming is a company that went up very quickly. It's a penny stock, and I bought a small position just kind of because it was the cash that was left in my portfolio, and I wanted to see a bigger pullback, which is something I don't typically do, but I bought a small amount because it's only $5 or $6 a share, so I bought 10 shares. And then Magnite, a company that I just talked about yesterday. It's a really interesting advertising company that has been reporting some really good numbers, and I bought 10 shares of that. So just looking at the companies we bought so far this week, Ellis is down about 1.8%. Magnite is down just 0.14%, so not really anything. They're pretty much even. CleanSpark's up about 26%. WPF is about even, but then Thunderbridge, a company that we talked about last week that we were adding, actually just last week in our video, they're up about 18%. They're merging with a semiconductor company. Then we have Tattooed Chef, which is up a really good amount too. We have GHIV, DMYD that are both up. I think what's important to remember too, I know that we're down in 2 of our positions recently, just barely, but take a look at the ones that we're actually down in, right? If you look at our stocks that we're down the most in, look how much is invested. You can kind of see it under the quantity market value. They are our smallest holdings, right? They're some of our smallest holdings. Now, of course, that kind of makes sense because if they're down, then it decreases the value. But you can tell that the conviction rate is very different for something like Ellis Gaming versus something like Walt Disney or DMYD at the top there. We have a lot more invested there, or BFT. As we go up, I put a lot more into the companies I felt really strongly about, and that I think is pretty obvious with how much money that we have in there. So while I might be down on a couple positions recently, we didn't put a lot of money in because I didn't feel very strongly about it compared to some other stocks. Like even right now, I really like Tattooed Chef. Even though it's gone up 22%, I still plan on buying a lot more over the coming months. And same thing with Disney, maybe CleanSpark. Some of these other companies I feel really good about, even though they're up a lot. Some of these companies towards the bottom, I want some exposure to, but I don't necessarily feel as good about it as something like Disney or JP Morgan or something like SBE. So that's just something to keep in mind. I think that's something that you kind of gain as you invest more, right? Typically, the stocks that you're investing more into are the companies that are doing really well day in and day out, but that's just something in my mind. Now, just over the last month, we have a pretty good return on the portfolio. I can't really complain, but we've been pretty good with some of our positions. We've been able to buy a lot of stocks right before they went up. We also sold off some stocks last week or the week before. A lot of our EVs that were up pretty good amount. A lot of the SPACs that were up a pretty good amount too. So definitely take a look at these companies that I bought today. If you're interested at all, definitely check out my channel if you want to see more videos on them. This isn't supposed to be like an in-depth video on those companies or anything like that. It's just supposed to tell you what I'm buying because, again, you can see it in real time. I actually bought more of a company today, which was the company that I just told you about, the advertising company, Magnite, but my Patreon members see it before anyone else. So if you want to see that, you can check it out down below. Otherwise, thank you guys so much for watching. I plan on doing this pretty much weekly. We are not the only ones that do this. We do it with Logan Fisher and then also with JT Wealth. So if you want to check out their channels, I would definitely suggest that. Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Let me know what companies you're buying this week. And if you have any questions, put them down below. I'll try to answer them for the first little while this video is up. If you want to see the video on Magnite, I'll put it up here. Thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for checking out WeBull and BlockFi, and Merry Christmas Eve or Happy Holidays. Thanks.